Welcome back to TCS viewers, it's Chris Niccolls here from the Camera Store, and I want to show you today Samsung's brand new NX20 and NX210 mirrorless cameras. You know, it's a pretty interesting world we live in today, and a very connected world when it comes to photography, because of course we're all carrying smartphones that let us take very decent photos and let us upload these things through Wi-Fi right onto the net. We can email, we can put them on our Facebook pages. It's just a very cool connected way of sharing photography nowadays. However, we don't have cameras that give us full manual control yet. We don't have cameras that give us interchangeable lenses. We don't have cameras that give us that creative potential and those large SLR sensors, and yet still give us that connected feel until now. Samsung's brand new NX210 and NX20 have fantastic Wi-Fi features. I'm going to take you folks through these later on. Now, we're also going to test the camera's image quality, focusing capabilities, give you guys a good rundown. Also, the entire video today, Jordan is shooting on the NX20, so it's also a great way to see the video quality that we get out of these things. But to get things started, let's take a photo here and upload it right onto Jordan's Facebook page. All right, so let's get a photo of Jordan here for his Facebook page and make him look like he knows what he's doing. All right, let's just click over to Wi-Fi now here. Okay, so let's go over here to now social sharing. We're gonna look at some of the other functions too, but I like that if you just leave it for a bit, it actually tells you what these controls do. Right over to social sharing, go in here, go to Facebook. As you can see, we can upload right to YouTube or go to Picasa as well. It's gonna connect up to our Camera Store Wi-Fi. Now let's find that last photo of Jordan there, go to upload. And that's it. Now, one thing that Samsung can do very well is make a very stylish, very, very high-end feeling product. Now, this is the NX210, and of course, Jordan's shooting the NX20, and basically the cameras are the same with just some differences in the handling. The NX20 has an electronic viewfinder, rotating screen, a depth of field preview button, and a much larger, chunkier grip. But even though the NX210 is the smaller brother, it still has a very, very nice, comfortable feel. It's got this sort of checkered pattern on the grip, not unlike, I don't know, a high-end Italian over-under shotgun or a pistol of very, very nice pedigree. But the camera also has a very light metal feel to it. It's comfortable to use. It's quick handling. One thing I don't like though, the dial for changing your exposure. It's recessed back quite far. So again, kind of uncomfortable to get your finger back there, especially when you also have to pinch the plus and minus key for exposure compensation. Other than that, nice to use, a joy to handle. Now, of course, Samsung are famous for making really high-end LCD TVs, and the AMOLED screens on these cameras are also very, very, very good. In fact, you can see out here, folks, bright sunlight in the background. Our camera's having no problem handling it. It can see clearly. I can see it as well myself. Now, one of the things I love about these, Samsung sure know how to make pretty menus. I mean, this is their function screen. It's really easy to set here. Now, as I go through white balance, look at that. I got these cool symbols, fluorescent, cloudy, daylight. Man, it is cheerful to use, that's for sure. If I go to your Kelvin, check this out. It actually gives me a color temperature scale showing me what color it's gonna add to my scene. I mean, you know, all the other cameras on the market do the same thing, but nothing does it as pretty as this. Now, Samsung has a very, very similar camera in size and sensor size to the Sony NEX system. In fact, they even call their lens mount NX system, so it's pretty close. What isn't close, though, is that Samsung have a ton more lenses right now. You got a lot of the standard zooms, telephotos, 18-55s, 18-200s, but you also have a gorgeous selection of prime lenses. You got this 85 1.4. It is huge on this camera, but very, very sharp and very thin depth of field. Reminds me of the Contax 85mm 1.4 for size. But of course, just like other mirrorless systems, you also got some really nice compact primes like this 16mm 2.4. The primes are great, they're very sharp, you got a lot of choices. It's nice to see in a very, very early newcomer to the mirrorless market. Now folks, we've already talked about how beautiful Samsung's menus are. Their graphic interface is just gorgeous. I mean, Mac and Windows designers could take a lesson from these guys on how to do it. I bet their phones and tablets are badass. And of course, all the buttons are in a great layout. Movie button is where we want it. The function button's really nice. I push this and I have quick access to exposure comp, white balance, focusing controls. You know, one thing though, we've got selective color tying up one of the buttons. Now, I would have rather had something like vivid controls or black and white mode, but no, we got selective color on there. So I don't know, let's use it. Let's take a shot here. I mean, housewives shooting babies next to colorful flowers and be tickled silly over this stuff, but the rest of us, it's a waste of a button. I'm all about selective color now. Oh, I've got red, blue, yellow, green. It's amazing. Thank you, Samsung. So I've been shooting with this camera now for the day, and the autofocus is not the best I've seen. In single mode, cameras like the Panasonic GX1 or even like the Sony NEX, I do find to be a little bit quicker to grab focus on. But let's give it a try in continuous, see how it can handle that. Now the continuous autofocus here is just not that impressive. It's quite slow, hesitates a bit. The camera automatically reduces its frame rate to match the autofocus, so there's no way you're going to get the Samsung's max 8 frames per second in continuous. And a lot of those shots, it just couldn't do it. Now, of course, the camera can do 8 frames per second, but only in single. But if you guys can hear the burst here, it certainly is quick. Now, the Samsung NX210 and 20 are chugging out 20 megapixels resolution. It is tons. You will not be wanting for detail. High ISO performance, so let's take a look at here, starting at ISO 400. Now, actually, the Samsung, as we go through the ISOs, is controlling noise very, very well. As we start getting up into the higher ISOs, we go to 1600, 3200, and beyond, you do certainly notice quite a bit of softness. So all in all, the Samsung's handling its 20 megapixel resolution very, very well. We're avoiding a lot of noise, and the color's actually staying fairly true. We find the exposure seems to drop a little bit at the high ISOs here, and certainly sharpness suffers. So if you want to get sharp images, don't push that ISO too high. All right, folks, so now to check out one of the coolest features of the new NX210 and 20 series, and that's to use your smartphone as remote viewfinder. Now, we've connected between the two cameras via Wi-Fi, and now everything that Stephan points the camera at, I can see on the iPhone here. And if I touch this button, I can take pictures just like that. So Stephan's going to be my living tripod. We're going to test the range and just see what kind of functionality we get out of here, and we're going to communicate on the walkie-talkies. So let's get to it. So he's going to walk around, and we'll just see how far we can go and take photos along the way. All right, Stephan, go for it. Oh, there's one photo. Stephan, let's take a picture of that pretty water right next to you. I gotta wait for my tripod to actually stop moving. Here we go. Beautiful. Okay, keep going. Yeah, she's a photographer. She likes getting her picture taken. Very slick. All right, Stephan, go for a walk around there. Now the camera actually autofocuses quite quickly, even remotely. Takes a picture. He's just walking around here. And we've got quite a distance in between us now. All right, Stephan, stop there. Okay, looks like the camera's now struggling here. It keeps saying capturing, so we might be at our maximum range. Still, overall, that's pretty impressive for a Wi-Fi connection with a remote camera. All right, folks, so I've always wanted to get a shot like this, but it's really dangerous. But now that I've got a human tripod, let's give this a try. Okay, Stephan, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and just stand in the middle of the road there and get a shot of the oncoming traffic. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm really not comfortable with that.
You're sure?
I'm really sure.
Okay, I don't know. Sit next to the chess guy there. Let's just try something else. What's the point of having a human tripod? Hey, geez. All right, folks, let's see if we can get a shot here. Okay. All right, Stephan, I need you to lower the camera just a little bit. Okay, a bit to the left. Okay, okay, all right, level it out. Not so much. All right, good. Well, there you go, living tripod, man. It works slowly. I actually really enjoyed shooting the Samsung NX210. It's a really well put together camera. Screen is one of the best I've ever used on any camera, bar none. Easy to see in the sunlight too, which was nice. The camera's graphic interface, I cannot speak highly enough about this. It's cute, but it's very well thought out, designed very smartly, and makes it very quick to set things. The image quality, no complaints, and the lenses are fantastic, and you got a good selection. The only thing I didn't like was the autofocus. That is a bit of a letdown for such a fast camera to then not be very quick continuous autofocus. Well, considering its price point, it's up there above a lot of other mirrorless cameras. Only the Sony NX7 is really going to be more than this, and certainly a lot more money than most SLRs on the market in the entry level as well. But all in all, very compact, very sleek, Very, very well designed. I would certainly take a look at this. And remember, that Wi-Fi, that uploading, that is so far unique to this series of camera. Being able to beam photos up online and be connected instantly is a very, very cool feature.
Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. I was distracted by looking through the beautiful viewfinder on this Samsung NX20 here. It's absolutely one of the best electronic viewfinders I've ever used on a compact camera. And look at this too, flippy screen. This is the perfect camera in the Samsung line if you're going to be shooting stills and video. We get full manual control when we're shooting video, which I think is absolutely necessary. The manual focus on it can be a little touchy, but it's very quick, really easy to pull focus from one subject to another. That said, I do wish that they'd included a microphone jack in this. There's no mini port, so I had to do all my audio externally today. But, you know, for the price and the size, this is an excellent little video camera as well as a still camera. So that's everything for this week, guys. Thanks for checking out the video, and I really want to thank Stephan for coming out and being our human tripod. We'll see you guys soon.